What is the fourth and how does it work? Let's discover it in this video. Welcome Musici to this new video. I'm Riccardo, some Musicus Practicus, and I want to start these kind of videos which are more discursive, where we talk about some particular topics related to early music, composition, partimento, cantus firmus, cantus figuratus, mensural notation, all the things you can conceive about early music, Renaissance and Baroque especially. And one of these thing is with which we can start today is the fourth, because sometimes the fourth is considered a consonance, some other times a dissonance. So is the fourth a consonant or a dissonance or something else? In order to answer this question, we have to start understanding what is a fourth in early music theory. For this, I prepared this PDF that you can download. I want to give this little PDF for free to anyone. So here, below this post, you can find below this video in the description, you can find the Patreon post. Click on it, you can download the PDF. First of all, we have to understand the Diatessaron, because the ancient musicians, especially in the Renaissance, they called the fourth, the perfect fourth, Diatessaron, which is a Greek name, which means Diatessaron. So per in Italian would be per quarta, so moving through 4 steps, the Greek etymology. And the Diatessaron, or minor fourth, so is a conjunction of 4 sounds or 4 positions on the monochord, on the great scale. If you study solmization, you know that in the great scale we have claves, all the notes, all the letters, and voices, voices, all the syllables, made up of 2 tones and 1 major semitone. Major because it's a diatonic semitone. And the proportion of the Diatessaron is 4/3, which means Sesquiterzia. Now we will see better this term. And in the Renaissance and in early music theory, because for example this book is of the end of the 17th century, Andrea da Modena, because this is a theory that had been taught at least up to the end of the 18th century. Even some books at the end of the 18th century used to teach this classification. We have 3 species, so all the intervals can have different species according to the position of the semitone, and this is very important from a modal analysis of Renaissance, of the modal system of the Renaissance or the Baroque system, with modes in alternating with the cantus firmus. So it's all connected. And we have the first species where the semitone is in the middle, re mi fa sol, re mi fa sol. Then we have the second species where the semitone is at the beginning, mi fa sol la, and another species, the third one, where the semitone is at the top right, so at the top right, in the top of the fourth, at the top. Ut re mi fa. So starting from the same note, de sol re, re mi fa sol, mi fa sol la, ut re mi fa. And this is a topic that we talk about this in Cantus Firmus, analyzing all the intervals. This is chapter 3. In the Cantus Firmus course, because there are some things that you have to study focusing on each element and each topic. So I want to make this video also to tell you what part to study on all the courses, so then you can have a complete education about early music, as if you were born in the Renaissance. After this, which is very important, I said superpartiente terza. What does it mean? We have proportions, and this is from Cantus figuratus course, because proportions are more important in Cantus figuratus when then we have the proportions in the time, in the tactus. Proportions have five classifications. There are five types of proportions. Or three which are simple: multiplex, superparticolare, and superpartiente. We will focus on the superparticolare, and then the compound species, the multiplex superparticolare and multiplex superpartiente. This is a mathematical thing as taught in the Renaissance, but very important to understand the nature. When we say sesquiterzia, we mean with sesqui one more than, so sesqui is one more there than terza, 3, so 1 more than 3 is 4/3, because 4 is 3 plus 1, 3. So the first part, the first number of this proportion is 4/3, one more than the second one. In fact, particolare means once, so it exceeds the greater number, the first number exceeds the other one by only one part, one unit. When we say part in English, maybe it's more correct to say unit. Then we have sesquialtera. You already know altera is 2, alter, terza, sesquiquarta, 5/4, 6/5, sesquiquinta, with the pictures you can see by Ludovici Fogliani and Gioseffo Zarlino here. Then, the contrary, if we invert the two numbers, so for example 3/4 is called sub-sesquiterzia, so they use the prefix sub to intend to say the inverted proportion. Okay, now that we have understood we can say speculative, theoretical, mathematical origin of the fourth, let's see how to apply it in composition and counterpoint. We can have two situations. The first situation is when the fourth is related with a bass. In this case, the fourth is a dissonance. So, let's play this. We have in the bass line mi, sol, ut, mi, sol, ut, and in the top voice fa, mi, fa. Here, since the fourth is related to the bass, and when we say the bass, we do not mean something singing here. We mean the bass in terms of the lowest voice. In this case, the lowest voice is this one, so this is the bass. And for this reason, the voice which has the fourth has the preparation, the suspension, and the resolution. The fourth is a suspension, it is prepared, and then it is resolved to the third. This is the same thing that would happen with the seventh. When you have the seventh, you have the preparation, in this case a consonance, a 3, the suspension, and then the resolution here, which is another third, and the suspension is this phase. Fa, mi, fa, fa, mi, fa. So, from a theoretical point of view, the fourth is considered a consonant. Even in the melody, ut, fa, sol, la, ut, fa is a consonant interval considering the melodic movement. But from a contrapuntal point of view, if it is related to the bass, it is a dissonance. Then, let's see this situation. This is very interesting. Why? Because we have the so-called suspension 4/3. And it's true that if we check the two upper voices, or better, let's check only this voice and this voice. This is quite similar or very similar to what we had here, 4/3. Even in this case, we have the fourth, which is prepared and resolved. And the very interesting thing is that the presence of another voice so the fifth over the bass line, creates between the two upper voices 7/6, which is a very interesting fact, because what we can see is that even when we have the fourth, and this is another reason of the necessity to prepare the fourth and to intend the fourth has a dissonance when it is related to the bass line, is that we can add the fifth, creating this way or a second or a seventh. And let's take the case we have here with the seventh. This seventh is the same situation we have here, with just a difference that the bass line doesn't move but stays here on D. So even when the fourth is related to the bass, we can put the fifth and create so a 2/3 or a 7/6, as you can see here. 6, 7, 6, 8. And the other case, the opposite situation, is when the fourth is not related to the bass line. Let's check this other pattern. We have the Monte Romanesca. So let's play the major version, only one is more than enough. In this case, if we analyze all the intervals between the bottom to the top, we cannot see any fourth, and that's good because it's not related to the bass. We start counting the intervals from the bass line, from the bass, the lower note. But here we can see that we have a fourth in this case, and it does not need to be prepared, because since it is not with the bass, these notes are an octave and the fifth, as you can see. So no needs to preparation. The same thing here and the same thing here. Now, another very interesting thing. Is the major and minor, but let's check only the major version, leaping Romanesca. What is the reason of so why I'm talking about this? Because we have just a succession of parallel thirds in the first example. La, sol, fa, mi, re, ut. The presence of the third the presence of the third helps us to, for example, use the suspension, so allows us to do this note and this note to get 4/3. Well, 4 is related over the bass line, so to the bass line this way. And in fact, as you can see, we did the preparation and we prepared and resolved the fourth. 8, 4, 3. And also here, where we have the 3, 4, 8, 4, 3. 8, 4, 3, 8, 4, 3. Okay? When we have the 8, we can do another suspension, which is 9, 8. 1 is, so 4 is 3 plus 1. 9 is 8 plus 1. Maybe not the first time, because we need to prepare it, but the second time, 9, 8, mi, la, sol, fa, mi, this way. We can do this also the first time, but we have to prepare it before this way. So we can play this note alone, and then we can start sol, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, mi. And each suspension, so each 9 and each fourth, is prepared and resolved. The preparation, suspension, resolution, this resolution becomes the new preparation of the following phase. Preparation, suspension, resolution, which is the 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 preparation. Going on this way. Now, what is the very interesting thing? which can we understand only if we study all these patterns separately, is that here, if we analyze the baseline, we have 989, so 9843, 9843, 9843. But if we analyze the right hand, we have only one thing. 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3. So the didactic of partimento, for example, is useful to see these things that otherwise in functional harmony we will think more vertically. So we will think first degree with 9/8, then fifth degree with 4/3, sixth degree with 9/8, third degree with 4/3. Okay, that's true, but let's think horizontally. Let's think to the melody more than the harmony, which is important, but it's not the only one. Melody sometimes is more important. 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 fa mi la la sol la, finishing with a modulation to A minor. And the same thing happens in the other case here. Instead of 2 3 between the two upper voices, we make 7 6. But all of this related to the bass does not. All of these things do not change because they still remain 7 6. They still remain 9 8 4 3 9 8 4 3 9 8 4 3. Look, it's very interesting. We can have 9 8 4 3 9 8 4 3 9 8 4 3. But between the two upper voices we get 7 6 7 6. 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6. This is a very interesting aspect which you can see and understand only if you study the melodic patterns, the contrapuntal patterns from a very important melodic point of view, and then you merge all of them together. And this is a thing that functional harmony doesn't help so much you to learn. So we said that the fourth is called in the Renaissance Diatessaron or minor fourth, because the major fourth is the quarta maggiore. How to learn all these things about intervals, all these things about all the species of intervals, it is in the Renaissance Musicus Practicus path in Cantus Firmus chapter 3. Why? Because in Cantus Firmus we study the melodic movements of the melody. So we study the intervals, because Cantus Firmus is monody, only one note. Proportions, it is a sesquiterzia, so 4 3, because the proportion 4 is, the number 4 in the proportion is one more than the 3, belonging to the genere superpartiente, which means that the first number is one more than the other one. Superpartiente terza means superpartiente terza or sesquiterza, superparticolare. It belongs to the superparticolare. The superpartiente is the other genre. For example, 5/3 is super bipartiente terza, because 5 is 3 plus 2, not only one part. So 4/3 sesquiterza belongs to the genere superparticolare, because only one part. 4 is 3 plus 1. That's why 4/3. And the application in partimento is something you can learn practicing partimenti, starting with different methods. There is the partimento method, or my personal one-to-one teaching sessions with you. So if you want to learn partimento and composition, write to me. You can find always the email to contact me in the description. It's called Musicus Apprenticeship, and consider that the slots are very limited due to the fact that I have only 24 hours per day. I do not live on Mars, and I hope that one day I'll have 48 hours per day, 48 hours per day to work more, because I like a lot what I do, but for the moment I have only 24 hours, and I have also to sleep. So if you want to learn, tell me, but let's get organized. And also all the other things, you can also start learning solmization, cantus firmus, and cantus figuratus, which are a very important skill, especially for Renaissance music. Solmization is useful for both Renaissance and Baroque, because we study the melodic reading with hexachords and theoretical or better practice of the theory aspect of early music applied to performance. Then cantus firmus is more focused in the Renaissance, even if taught in the Baroque period up to the end of the 18th century. The oldest source I put in that course is Vincenzo Belli, which is at the very end of the 18th century. So Mozart studied this way cantus firmus. Beethoven, Haydn studied this way cantus firmus, not only Palestrina. And cantus figuratus is focused on the mensural notation of the Renaissance, so you can learn how to read and perform Renaissance mensural notation directly from the original sources without relying on any transcription. So you take a piece written in mensural notation of the 16th century or of the 15th century, even of the 15th century, and you can read it without any problems because you know how mensuration, tactus work, and proportion, because there is an important chapter, chapter 6, one of the biggest, about proportion. Follow this link that you can also find in the description, where you can download the PDF guide with all the lessons contained in the courses, so you know exactly what you will learn. Then the partimento method, you have chapter 2 to start, where you can start for free without any problems. You create your account, you start chapter 2, and you learn a lot of things. Then you can continue. And now we are, today is the 14th of December, so up to the end of December there is a special offer I wanted to create, which contains solmization, cantus firmus, and cantus figuratus. So the first three steps of the Renaissance Musicus Practicus. So if you want to take this opportunity, this offer, it's there. Follow the link. The offer is in the cantus figuratus course. It can be a beautiful Christmas present for someone, for yourself, for investing in your musical education, or maybe you have a relative which is studying music. This is a perfect gift, or other situations. In any case, you can download this PDF, this is free, following the Patreon post in the description. Another thing I want to say to you, if you have other topics you would like to explore, I would like me to talk about, tell me in the description of this video, then maybe I can create another more organized, way to with a specific email address where you can send your specific question about early music, and then I know exactly all the topics, and if there are a lot of questions about a specific topic, I'll make a video. But for the moment, use the comments here below this video to tell me what you would like I talk about. Some thoughts, some. And in any case, download this PDF and see you in another video, and take the offer of cantus firmus, solmization, and cantus figuratus. This is an introitus of the first irregular tones, primus tonus irregularis. This is a melody of the sextus tonus perfectus, mixtus, imperfectus. And this is a melody of the primus tonus perfectus commixtus imperfectus major with the seventh. In the education of the Renaissance musicus, which actually extends up to the beginning of the 19th century, after learning solmization, cantus firmus was a very fundamental step. Cantus firmus is the Gregorian chant as it was practiced in that period. But with cantus firmus we mean much more. We mean the study of the melodies, the 8 and 9 ecclesiastical tones, perfectus, imperfectus, authenticus, plagalis, the study of toni mixti and commixti, mixed and commixed, and also toni irregulares, irregular tones. the study of the 9 and not 8 psalm tones, the study of the effect that these tones have on our mind and in the sounding universe. And many other things that you can discover downloading the free ebook that I've prepared for you, where you can discover all the things you can learn in each chapter of this step of your initiatory journey to become a Musicus Practicus of the Renaissance. So don't waste your time, go to this link and get your ebook. I have bad news for you. In the Renaissance, transcriptions didn't exist. All Musici Prattici, indeed, read music directly from the original sources. They knew how to read ligatures and recognize the correct values, brevis, longa, semibrevis, maxima. They could accurately interpret all the mensurations, perfect, imperfect, tempus, modus, prolazio. They knew how to beat the tactus in accordance with the mensurations and the proportions. So, modern transcriptions are unnecessary. Yes, they can be useful if you want to study the counterpoint and the vertical setting. But do you really have the audacity to claim you perform Renaissance music and are an expert, yet you don't know how to read the notation used by the Renaissance musicians? Fortunately, today you too can learn how to read white mensural notation directly from the original sources without relying anymore on any transcriptions nonsense. I've prepared an entire course of 90 practical lessons for you where I'll teach you gradually how to read figures and rests, how to correctly interpret mensurations in the ancient and in the modern system, how to correctly beat the tactus according to the mensuration and the proportions, how to correctly perform imperfect mensurations and perfect mensurations with all the rules of perfections and imperfections, how to correctly beat the proportions, even the most unexpected ones, like 5-3, how to correctly align the syllables of the text to the notes of the piece, and much more. 90 practical lessons, 200 pages of examples and exercises from the original sources, no transcriptions, only examples from the original sources. So, no more excuses to don't learn white mensural notation, sign up for the course, discover all the topics and the content, purchase the course and start learning white mensural notation today. Click here.